Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of First Person, a new year and a new sponsors. We welcome the Bruns Realty Group in Troy on Tip Colesville Road to our role of sponsors here on First Person. 65 years of experience to the Miami County community in both residential and commercial. They'll help you make the right move, so give them a call, the Bruns Group on Tip Colesville Road in Troy. They'll help you make the right move as well. It is the eve of the tournament basketball season. We want to talk a little tournament basketball this morning with a guy who's eminently qualified because he's coached at Covington, he's coached at Bethel, he's been at Sydney, he's been at Wayne, he's currently the girls' coach here at Newton High School, as well as the principal. Steve Fisher will be familiar to a lot of you. And Fish, thanks for taking the time to talk to us this morning, because there are two, this is significant to me, two coaches now working in Miami County who have state titles to their name. Alan Mack at Miami East in 1996, and we want to talk to you a little bit about that team at Bethel in 2001 with Plunkett and Witt and the Shout brothers and those kids. And it doesn't seem like 16 or 17 years could go by that quickly.
No, hard to believe that time passes that quickly. And when I talk to my assistants and the players that are still in the area, none of us can believe that 2001 is that far removed.
You know, they say that time is cruel because the older you get, the better you get. And I know as a coach, you look back on those teams, you remember all the teams that you coached, but I know you remember that one, and share a little bit about some of your best memories and thoughts now about that 2001 team.
It was a team going in that we knew was going to be very good. We had been beaten in the year before, which actually I thought might have been a better team. We had been beaten in St. Henry, beat us in the regional finals. Close game. They made a bunch of shots at the end of the game and beat us down at UD Arena. So we knew we just lost one player off of that team, and we had to replace him, and really thought that we knew we could go deep again. When you had two great Ohio high school players like Plunkett and Witt, guards make teams, and we had two of the best guards in the history of Ohio basketball, I think. So we knew that. So there were significant games that we kind of scheduled that year to kind of give us an edge a little bit.
You know, you got to be good, but you got to be lucky too.
Yeah.
I don't care how good you are, you got to have a little bit of luck. And there were a couple of games that stand out in my mind, and I'm fortunate to have been around at that time. One, the Catholic Central game in the districts. And then they're still talking about this in Mercer County, and there's a lot of people in Mercer County who watch this segment of First Person are going to remember your game with Marion Local in the region.
Correct. Springfield Catholic we knew was very good. Really we were lucky to have enough time to prepare for them. We were really very athletic. That was a plus to us. And we were a very good rebounding team. And they had some size, they had some guards. You know, we scrambled, I think it was like a 10 or 12, 14 point win. We were very happy to get out of there at that point. And then of course we had to go to Miami. They scheduled the only year I think that the Miami that has had the regional tournament. We had to drive to Miami, to Oxford, Ohio, play in the regionals, and we had Covington the first game, who we had beaten by 25 or 30 early in the season.
And that was a great Covington team.
That was a really good
the Myers boys,
That's
Jared
right.
and Jason Myers.
And they were really good, Burleson and Roth. And we had played them at Bethel early in January and played as well as we could possibly play. Had to play them again. Knew that would be, you know, an even tougher game on a neutral floor. We're behind at halftime by 3 or 4. Came out we had played diamond and one on Jason Meyer the first half. Came out and they Roger put Rothboy in the corner. And the corner was a weakness against your diamond and one, and we came out in the second half triangle 2 and put Witt on Roth, and Witt shut Roth down, and we ended up winning the game by 6 or 8, I think. And we had Marion Local in the regional finals. They were big, obviously, had guards, had a player, and I cannot think of his name off the top of my head. Went to Bowling Green, about 6'6", and there were 3 or 4 plays in that game that really were significant. So yeah, we were lucky to get out of there, but it's kind of one of those deals where I think referees sometimes at the end of games, let kids decide the game. And there were probably a couple calls that if I were sitting in Marion's position, I know that the Holtville kid, who was as physical a player as I had, bodied up on one of their shooters, and his hands were straight up, but the kid kind of jumped into him, and there was no call. That if he'd have made that shot, they'd have won the game.
Yeah.
So
You got to be a little bit lucky.
Sure.
You absolutely have to be a little lucky. Steve Fisher, the coach of the 2001 Bethel boys team that won that title, and then of course, you know, you go on to the Schottenstein Center and won that particular. You weren't really that challenged in Columbus in one of the very first titles in the new arena.
Right. Went in there and played a team out of southeastern Ohio, Reedsville Eastern. And they had size also.
Good basketball tradition there, by the way.
And you know, they were 6'5", 6'4" type kids. Shot the three a lot. We got ahead early in the game. Second half, they came out and probably started relying on the three. And we were with the three guards that I had, Plunkett, Witt, and Schaup. Long rebounds meant layups at the other end. And so we ended up winning that game by the 20s. And had to face Delphos St. John's, who again, coming out of the MAC, good basketball team, well coached by Brett Norris. We were close at halftime, got ahead, and they started, I thought, relying on the three a little bit more. And we ended up winning that game by like 26, which until like 2 years ago was still the record for winning margin until I think Cleveland Villa beat Troy Christian by more than that, but that was the record for most points deficit by one team in a loss by Delphos.
And as I mentioned, that's one of the early tournaments played in the new arena.
Sure.
And, I'm sure you have some good memories and some good photographs and mementos.
Yeah, and it was an interesting thing because they really took care of us. And of course, you know, when you're a young coach, the one thing you want to always do is somehow get to the Final Four. And they met us at the door, walk us down, and believe it or not, they put us in Ohio State's locker room. And our kids go in and they had the area there where the players relax, lounge, and as we're waiting for games, the kids are sitting there going, you know, here we are, there's TVs all over, there's games, there's video games and stuff. So really we were well taken care of.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people wonder how much contact you still have with some of those players because Plunkett and Witt both went on to college careers significantly. I think Witt played at Eastern Kentucky and then went to Europe and had a pro career over there. I'm sure he's back here by now, but how much contact do you still have with your players?
Well, we had a reunion at the 15-year mark where Bethel put that whole team in their Hall of Fame. So that's the first time I had seen all of those kids, and there was only one that didn't come back. He is now an assistant coach at London, so he had a game that night. But all those other kids I've seen periodically. The one that I do stay in touch with is Matt Witt. Matt lives in Centerville. Matter of fact, he's building a house in Bethel Township and has a couple of kids now. Runs a CrossFit gym. Matter of fact, he's come up here to Newton and helped me occasionally just to kind of work with my guards and stuff. So he's the one that I still stay mostly in touch with because he does live in the area.
Tournament basketball starts this week. Of course, our coverage here on Press Pros Magazine, pretty comprehensive for both girls and boys. We hope you enjoy that. As they say, you got to be lucky, but you're also got to be pretty good like this guy's been over the years. A lot of games, a lot of experiences. Hey, your mind's pretty sharp still.
I don't know. Well, I hope so. You know,
I'll check with Sandy, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Well, coaching really, you know, coaching around with the young kids really keeps you feeling young.
Yeah, good. Steve Fisher, our guest this week on First Person. Again, a new sponsor now, the Bruns Realty Group on Tip Colesville Road in Troy. Call them for your next move, commercial or residential. They'll help you make the right one. Thanks again for your support of what we do on PressProsMagazine.com. We'll see you again next time with another edition of First Person.